Hello, welcome back. We are going to be talking about reading. I'm going to do one reading weekly focus and one writing weekly focus where we can kind of go over what you guys could be working on while you're reading, what you could be thinking about. And in Schoology in week 3, there will be a folder, week 3 and 4. There's a folder that will have this chart I'm going to show you. It's a smaller version of it. You don't really need to do anything with it. I just wanted to put it in here in case you wanted to reference it at all. So this is a smaller kind of one-page version of the chart we're going to do today. And typically at school, this would take us a while to do. There are little Post-its that we kind of go over one each day. I'm going to go over this whole chart with you, and you can be doing any of these things this week while you're reading. So here's a bigger version of it. This is called Off We Go, Readers Go on Adventures. So this is focused on fiction stories. So the first one, get ready, take a sneak peek. This is something we have already talked about, but it's a good thing to remember. When you're going to read a new book, you can look through at the pictures, look at the table of contents, and you can find a lot of information. Some books even have a little paragraph on the back or the inside cover that tells about it. That's a good place to look, and you're going to be thinking, where is this story and what's going to happen? That's what I want you thinking about before you even start reading. Next, when you start reading, you need to keep track of where and when. So what that means is where could be that characters are going different places. They might be at home and then they might go somewhere else. So you need to be thinking about where they are. Maybe they're on the school bus, at the park, in the kitchen. So just keep in mind where they are. And also, when is it? Is it night? Is it day? Is it a different day? Is it the afternoon? Did they tell you it's a Saturday? Those are things that are important to think about too. Next, predict what might happen next. I usually have you guys predict books before we even read them, but you guys can be doing predictions as you read. So if I'm on one page, I'm going to be guessing what I think would happen next before I turn the page. Okay, you can see the girl with the book. She's thinking, maybe. She can think, maybe this will happen. And your predictions aren't always going to be right, but it's good for us to kind of think about what possibilities there could be. Next, retelling the important parts. So it says mark pages to remember. And at school, I usually give everybody the Post-its in your book bins. So you can see this book has some Post-its marked on different pages. So you would only put a Post-it or mark a page if it's an important part to retell. So you don't need to tell every small detail when you're going to retell the story to someone. You need to think about the big important parts. So if you mark those pages, that can be helpful to help you remember it. Next, reread to notice more. Now, I say this to you guys all the time. If you have read a book, can you read it again? Of course. When you read a book again, you notice more details. Sometimes you notice details in the picture. Sometimes you notice because you're reading smoother and you can kind of pay attention more to what's happening. So it's always a good idea to reread your book. And the last one, connect parts of the story together. So this has little puzzle pieces. There are ways to connect the parts of the story. Like this first puzzle piece says trouble. In a lot of our stories, there's some kind of problem or trouble. You could think, how did that happen? And what is the problem? And how did that problem get fixed? And what did the characters do to help? Or maybe they didn't help. So those are some things you want to connect all those parts of the story. And that is your Off We Go, Readers Go on Adventures chart. So these are things you can be thinking of all week when you're reading books, any chance you get, when you are even listening to books on maybe Mayan or Bookflix, you can listen to books and you can be thinking about these things too. So this is for the week of April 6th. I'm calling this week 3. You only have this one reading video for this week, and I will make a new one for next week. All right. Get reading now, everybody.